Okay, so let's get straight to it here. The Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6 has the best design that Samsung has put on a foldable phone, and it falls in line with the Galaxy Z Flip 6 that I reviewed not too long ago. So besides the hinge, you're going to find flat sides around this phone, and so it not only makes the phone look better because it does also have a matte finish, but also it just feels more secure when I am opening the phone up and then also closing it because it is flatter. My finger just rests nicely on the edge of this phone, and along with the matte finish on the back of this phone, you can still see some fingerprints here and there, but it's nowhere near as much as if this phone had glossy surfaces around it. Fingerprint unlock here with the power button on the side is still fast, and you still do have face unlock. And so overall, the phone looks great. The colors that you do have on Samsung website, along with some of the exclusive colors, do look really good on this phone. And so I will also say that the phone is noticeably lighter. So I think it's like 0.5 ounces lighter than the Z Fold 5, but you do feel that difference. And this is coming from someone who uses foldable phones a lot. I do notice that difference. Now, the main bigger display does still come in at 7.6 inches, just like the Z Fold 5, but I think the resolution is up a little bit, but the colors are still there. It still looks great when you are watching movies or watching YouTube videos like this one, or if you are playing games and stuff like that. And oh, also this phone does have a bigger vapor chamber this year, and that helps keep the phone cool when you are doing intense tasks or you are gaming and stuff. So the cooler this phone runs, the longer you'll be able to play at higher resolutions and push those graphics. But anyway, the main screen looks great, but when you come to the outside, the noticeable difference this year is that it's actually coming in at 6.3 inches, which is up from the 6.2 inches on the Fold 5. It doesn't seem like a big jump, just like the weight, like I talked about before, but the phone does feel less cramped. The icons are just a little bit less cramped. And I did notice that my front screen time while testing out this phone did go up a little bit more than it was with the Z Fold 5 because I have that extra screen real estate. So I'm happy with that. This screen, like the bigger screen, still runs at 120 hertz, really great quality. So you can watch videos on this if you really want to, but for looking at social media and stuff, the colors look really great. Now, this is also a tougher phone when it comes to durability compared to the Z Fold 5. The biggest change is being that this is now rated IP48 versus the IPX8 rating on the Z Fold 5. So this means that this is going to be good against water resistance, but also now dust resistance and little particles and stuff that come from dirt and stuff like that when you are outside or you have this thing in your pocket. So yeah, I feel very confident with using this anywhere, but as it stands, this is going to be one of the tougher, more durable foldable phones on the market right now. And a lot of this new protection is going to be within the hinge of the phone to keep it protected, but also with this hinge on this phone, it does allow for the crease to be a little bit less noticeable than it was on the Z Fold 5. It still is there when you do use the phone at an angle, just like I'm doing right now. But I say this every single year, when you are just looking directly at the screen, the crease doesn't really come into play at all. So it doesn't bother me, so odds are it's not going to bother you as much as you might think it would. As far as charging, you still have reverse wireless charging on this phone, so you can place another phone or some wireless earbuds that have a charging case on the back of them and give them a charge. And also you still have 15-watt wireless charging, and you have 25-watt wired charging. So in about 30 minutes, you should be able to get around 50% charge back in the battery of this phone. And I didn't really notice a big battery life change while using this phone throughout the day. All day battery life is still easily achievable with this phone, and going into the next day, I still feel a little bit comfortable in the mornings. But even with the brighter screen on this phone, the battery life still remains consistent, and that's also due to the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chipset that's also inside of this phone that does help manage that battery life better. And speaking of performance of this phone, using the software on this thing, everything screams, no lagging, no hiccups or anything like that. I'm very happy with the performance while gaming or just scrolling through the screens, and also while using the AI features that Samsung does have on this phone. And the AI features are a big push from Samsung, and you have things like being able to help with organizing your notes a little bit better and stuff, and you have Circle the Search, which is still here, so you can circle something on your screen and then get information about that. And also Google Gemini comes pre-installed on this phone, and I've used that for a while now, and it does work very well when asking information from it and just getting results, and also helping you do other tasks. But most of the things that I like to do with AI are photo centric. So yeah, being able to take a photo or a subject in your photo and being able to move it and have the AI automatically fill it in, which is very nice. And you still have one of my favorite features on this phone, which is just being able to slow down any type of video that you have just by tapping on the screen and holding for a little while, and then you can export that as a new slow motion video. And so since we're already speaking about videos, let's go ahead and talk about the cameras on this phone. So on the back, you still have that triple camera system here, ultra wide, telephoto, and wide angle camera. And the megapixels and stuff aren't too much changed from the Z Fold 5, but the performance is still great. I love the colors that Samsung does reproduce in their photos and also the videos. You can still take 8K video with this phone if you want to, but I like doing 4K 60 video most of the time with this phone. Now, these cameras aren't going to really stack up to the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, and this is the same thing that happens every single year. So this does come to the point to where I still want Samsung to release an Ultra version of this Fold series of phones so we can get the same cameras or even better cameras than what we find with the Galaxy Ultra phone that releases that same year. So that would be something that's very welcome, especially for a phone of this price tag. Now, there is one negative with the photos this year, and that's dealing with the front-facing camera when I was taking selfies at night or in low light situations. They just came out a lot grainier than I expected. Now, the good thing is that the rear-facing cameras perform well at night, as you can see from this particular photo, but when I switch back over to a selfie photo using the front camera, it just seems a lot more grainier than I would want it to be. So hopefully this is something they could fix in a software update. But I was happy with the results when taking video at nighttime. I did bring the exposure down just a little bit, and I do that mostly with all my other phones too. But the video came out pretty well, even in the daytime, of course. But yeah, the low light photos just need a bump up in performance. Now, you still have that under display invisible selfie camera that's on the main display. And this is great because you don't have anything kind of blocking your view when you are watching a video or anything full screen on that. But quality wise, it's still going to be just like the Fold 5, so no really improvements there. But you still have the capability to fold this phone in half and then place it down, and basically it acts like a tripod. And I love getting shots like this of me walking and doing stuff for some of my other videos using a phone like this, just like the Galaxy Z Flip 6. And of course, you can still use that outside display to be able to take the best looking selfie that you can with this phone. But even if you still just use that front facing camera that's on the outer display, it's still going to be producing some really good results too. Now, this phone does have a starting price of $1,899, and this is up $100 compared to the $1,799 price tag of the starting price of the Z Fold 5. So this will get you 128 gigabytes of storage, and you can always upgrade to 1 terabyte for more money. So I can definitely see that price scaring some people off. But I will say that the Z Fold 6 still is going to be the best big foldable phone that is more of a laptop and also tablet replacement compared to something like the Pixel Fold or also the OnePlus Open. And that's because you still have Samsung DeX, so you can plug this thing into a monitor or a TV and it'll act like an actual laptop. And then also you still do have S Pen support, so you can use this bigger display to be able to draw, take notes. And I forgot to mention this earlier, you still have that little taskbar that shows up here at the bottom, and so you'll see some of your favorite and also most recent apps down here. And this is very useful for being able to multitask and switch between different apps and stuff, so I do like that. Okay, so look, personally, I think there is some stiff competition when it comes to this bigger foldable market from the likes of the OnePlus Open and also the Pixel Fold series, but I feel like Samsung still feels like they just have still an advantage in this particular space, and in some areas of this phone they do. But I would like to see Samsung push the Fold even further, whether it's an Ultra version of this phone or play around with some different screen sizes and different form factors. But for right now, the Z Fold 6 still is a very solid upgrade, especially if you are 2 generations behind in this whole Z Fold landscape. But right now, let me know what you think about this phone yourself by dropping a comment down below. And also check out my Galaxy Z Flip 6 review so you can see the details about that phone. But like always, I do want to thank you for watching this video, and I will catch you later. Peace.